Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I will be doing some raids with raiding with me. Yes, this is the first time that I am going to be doing raiding with me in like a month or so. And I was honest with you guys the last time I did a raiding with me video that, when I said I have no idea when I was going to do another raiding video, I legitimately didn't have any idea, but we're going to do another one here tonight. And also, after raiding with me, I'm also going to be doing my spoiler review of The Walking Dead City Season 1, Episode 4 spoiler review. So that will be after raiding with me. So don't worry. For those that don't want to know anything, you will be absolutely safe from any spoilers. So yeah. Before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. And, from this video to the last raiding with me video, I figured I would build this team up together right here. As you can see, I have the Jackie lead, the Tyrese tune, the Rosita tune, Molly, and the Wanderer. Now, you might be wondering, why am I not using Christmas Carol? Because he does give out camouflage. He does give out camouflage, and also, he technically has two specialist skills in one. His original specialist skill is collateral damage, but he also gives out Headhunter as well. So there you go. See, one enemy got crosshairs, but more importantly, he gives out camouflage. I mean, that was a baby team. So here we go. Here's a great example of where the camouflage is going to come into play. Okay, great. He gave everybody camouflage. Well, I think everybody. But I believe it's camouflage to everyone. Let's see. I'm trying to find it, but I can't seem to. He gives camouflage in there somewhere. But yeah, I think it's to every teammate, or it's at least to 4 teammates. Now, last time we did one of these, I was really struggling. Oh boy. Okay. We got it. Do we still have camouflage? I hope. Yeah, we got it. There we go. Last time I was ranting. Last time we did this. And honestly, next time I do a raiding with me video, I'll be honest again, I have no idea how long it's going to be from now until the next one. And also, I wanted to say this past Friday on July 14th was my birthday, and I got some birthday money from family members, and I decided to treat myself. I went out to dinner to a Mexican restaurant in my local area, and it was very good. And then I went to Dairy Queen, got some ice cream, of course, and then also I had bought myself 2 things. I bought Scream 6 on DVD. I know I already watched that movie back in March, but I really enjoyed that movie, so I've been wanting to get it. Don't know why it took so long to come out, but it took so long. there are movies that came out after Scream 6 in the theaters that came out before it on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming, such as John Wick 4, the new Evil Dead movie that came out earlier this year. Those are examples, which I'm not sure, maybe it has something to do with Paramount itself, but yeah, now that movie is out for those that aren't really able to have really good internet, right? Or they don't have good access to Wi-Fi, which I don't really have possession of either. But yeah, and then Scream 6, I did mention that, and I also got Resident Evil 4 remake. And I am very excited to eventually play Resident Evil 4 remake. I've never played Resident Evil 4 ever. I haven't even played the original one. But I am aware that you are Leon. I do know that, and it takes place in a village. That's as far as I know. That's about the basis of Resident Evil 4 that I'm aware of. And I hear that it's good as the second remake is. And that's honestly very good news to hear, because I have never played Resident Evil 4, not even the original. I am aware that you are Leon, and it takes place in some sort of village. That's legit the only things I know about it. I know nothing else about it. Which, I gotta be honest, I've been playing Resident Evil 2 more recently to prepare for the fourth one. And, I really like the second one. I did a playthrough with Leon and B playthrough of Claire, then an A playthrough of Leon and a B playthrough of Claire. I know that's a lot to comprehend, but yeah, I've pretty much played Resident Evil 2 4 different times because it's honestly that replayable, if I'm going to be honest. Now, the third one, the remake that is, I know that one isn't very well liked, but I'm going to go ahead and play that one again as well, just because, I didn't hate the third one, but I remember it being really short. And I get that, because back in the, what year did the third one come out, the remake? Wasn't it 2020? I think so. I believe it was 2020. For as short as Resident Evil 3 remake is, them charging a full $60, Jesus Christ, man. That felt like a robbery, honestly. It really did. And honestly, I was one of the people that, paid that, not as soon as it came out, but I got it within that year. But, it's good. The third one isn't horrible trash compared to another game that came out that same year. Not really going to talk about what that game is, but it's a sequel that I'm talking about. But anyway, honestly, if I was to say which one would I rather play again, would it be that one game that quote unquote won Game of the Year that year, or Resident Evil 3 remake? I'm picking Resident Evil 3 remake. I'll be honest. It's not very long, and sure, it's very disappointing, but that's just more of a personal preference for me. Yeah, I'll definitely take Resident Evil 3 over that other zombie game that came out the same year. You guys probably already know I don't even have to bring up the name. I've ranted about this game before so many times. It's not even funny bringing up the name anymore. Here's another hint. HBO recently this year made an adaptation of it. So, there you go. I'm only going to do a couple more raids. Even though I've already played Resident Evil 2 like 4 times at this point, because I mean, honestly, if you know what you're doing with Resident Evil 2, it's honestly not that bad. It's not that long. You can rush through it. Like, Resident Evil 3, I don't know. Like, I've only played it 1 time. And probably for a good reason, because it's so short. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play Resident Evil 3 at least 1 more time before I jump into the 4th one, because I don't know, it might connect to the 4th one, maybe, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I'm excited to jump into Resident Evil 4. And who knows, maybe that's something potentially I could play in the future on the channel. I don't know. But I'm telling you guys this now, since I completed Dying Light 2, if you haven't checked that video out, my last video is the finale. The finale of Dying Light 2. Check it out if you haven't yet. But like I said in that video, and like I'm saying now, my next game that I'm going to be playing is going to be Batman Arkham Asylum. As to when I'll get to that, I don't know at this exact moment, but I'm not like in a big hurry to get to it. But that's definitely going to be the next game. Arkham Asylum from the Batman Arkham trilogy. And that should be a great time. And I'm going to lose this one, but that's alright. Last time I was seriously pissed off at raids in the game. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm still like, this game is still drives me up the wall. It really does. And it's the company behind it that, you know, that's doing it. So, but yeah, Batman Arkham Knight. I mean, not Arkham Knight. Here I go thinking about... Why am I thinking about Arkham Knight? Oh, man. No, Batman Arkham Asylum is going to be the next one. Not Arkham Knight. We're not jumping ahead. I am going to do the whole trilogy, starting with Arkham Asylum. And for those that might be wondering, will I do Arkham Origins? No, to answer that question, only because I don't have a way to get my hands on Arkham Origins. And I think that Arkham Origins was made by a different company. Yeah. I don't think Rocksteady, that made the Arkham trilogy, I don't think they made... No, I'm pretty sure they didn't make Arkham Origins. Which, honestly, I don't remember that being that bad of a game. But, I mean, that's been well over... I would say... Let's see... I would say 15 years. Like, that's crazy. But no, it was made by a different company. But, yeah, I assure you that Batman Arkham Asylum is going to be the next game on the channel. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. The recorder decided to stop recording on its own, but nonetheless, we are back. And yeah, that last raid I didn't really win. I ran out of time. So I think I guess we'll do one more. Hopefully this doesn't take long to load up. if this takes any longer, then I probably just will skip right to the spoiler review. I don't know. Let me back out. It did rain a couple of hours ago, so the connection's it's a little slow. A little bit. Any day, come on. Hurry up. I know my audience doesn't want to see searching for opponents all year. Okay, thank you. We will do one more, and then I will skip to my spoiler review. This shouldn't take long. Alright. Tyrese coming in clutch, because most of the targets were fast, I believe. Okay, that is going to do it for the rating with me portion of the video, and I'm getting ready to go into my spoiler review of The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 4, Everybody Wins a Prize spoiler review. So if you don't want to hear anything, or if you're not caught up, I know I'm a week behind, but I eventually will catch up. And, I'm pretty much at the end, near the tail end of the season, because there's only 6 episodes. I'm on the 4th one. I still have yet to watch the 5th one. But if you don't want to know anything about what's going on, this is the time to go ahead and click off the video. And I do thank each and every one of you for your continued support and for stopping by. And I will catch you next time. Thank you so much. Now, for those that want to stick around, here I go. Here is my spoiler review of The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 4, Everybody Wins a Prize. Okay, so I'm not going to try to forget stuff. So, let's see. The episode starts with a flashback of a younger Negan. Not super young, but a younger Negan at the sanctuary. You can tell it's the sanctuary because it's one of the rooms where he's sitting by himself with Lucille at the table, and there's literally a feast of food on the table. And that's when, he's just sitting down enjoying his food. And that's when Simon, yes, aka Trevor Phillips, for those that don't know who Simon is, the same guy that played Trevor Phillips from GTA 5. But anyway, Simon, that's when he comes in and says that, hey Negan, we got a problem, or whatever. And they go see what the problem is, and it's the Crow Rat. He's torturing a kid. I mean, we don't get to see him doing that, thankfully, but we see the aftermath of it, and, we find out that the kid came from the kingdom, and as to why they say the king sent the kid, I don't think he meant specifically to the sanctuary, but I mean, he could have. But anyway, there's a kid, and they were wanting to find out this information about a weapons cache, and apparently the kid gave up the information, and the Crow Rat still has both his ears in this scene. So I guess this is an entirely different incident. It might be the same incident. I would have to go back and rewatch, but it could be 2 entirely different incidents, because in this particular scene, he still has his ears, and that's pretty much all we get of the flashback stuff. Hopefully they have more of it, it was kind of cool to see Simon come back, even if it was just for a couple of minutes. So yeah, we go back to the current time, and of course, the girl, not Jenny, but the one girl, Anita, I think her name's Anita. Anita is out, she's out looking for Luther, and she says, alright, I can't find him, he's nowhere to be found. And like, Negan is kind of looking, but he's kind of just fooling around with his backpack, getting his stuff ready. And Maggie looks at Negan kind of like, she kind of nods, like, she doesn't exactly know, but I think she suspects that Negan might have had something to do with Luther's disappearance. So Anita and Tommaso, they think that Luther just took off, didn't say a word, but we know that Negan killed him in the last episode, but obviously he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to give that up for obvious reasons, because they would kill him. So they just think he just took off. And Negan even says, Luther wasn't on board with this plan to break into the stadium. And Tomasino's like, yeah, he wasn't. So he kind of gets any suspicion off his back for the moment by saying that. Even Tommaso, even Tommaso is like, yeah, Luther didn't agree, but he's like, once he sees that our plan works, he'll be forgiving us, or he says something like that. But anyway, and so we jump to the next scene where they're getting ready to go underneath, under the subways to get to the stadium. So they do that. They all go to the subway to go underneath, to get to the stadium. That way they're not seen. And Jenny, she just appears out of nowhere, and she follows them. And one important thing I forgot to say last week, at the end of last week's episode, well, at the end of episode 3, I should say, it looked like when Maggie, she had picked up that dinosaur that the woman told her she could have, it looked like she burnt the dinosaur, and I think Jenny saw that. Initially, that's what it looked like, because Negan says something about, later in the episode, Negan, I should say, he asks Maggie, has anyone seen my matches? And she's like, no. So it's clear that she took his matches to burn the dinosaur. And I did forget to mention that, and that might be important later on. Maybe not. I don't know. But they're under the subway, and there's a bunch of walkers, on the ground. Some of them are sleeping, some of them are dead. It's kind of hard to tell. So they get through that. They go to the arena, and they end up in, like, I don't know what part of the arena stadium, right? Same deal. They get to the arena, and they, Negan and Maggie and Tommaso and all the other cannon fodder are there, because there's definitely some cannon fodder in the episode. So yeah, the only important people in this episode, I would say, as far as that particular group, is going to be Maggie, Negan, Tommaso, Annetta, and then that's pretty much it. And there's a couple of other people with them, but like I said, they're cannon fodder, and I'll get to that. So they're in the arena. They're in a part of the arena, and they go through these doors, and they see that there's this kid that has been turned into a walker, and they make Maggie think that for a second that's Herschel, but no, it's not Herschel. The walker just happens to have a similar hairstyle, but if I remember correctly, Herschel hasn't been seen since the first episode, and he was either wearing a navy blue shirt or a gray shirt, but this kid is wearing like a white or a beige shirt, so it's definitely not him. But they have Maggie thinking for a second, oh shit, that could maybe be Herschel, but no, it's not. He was wearing a darker color shirt from what I've remembered, so as far as I know, Herschel is still alive, so, and I doubt they would kill him off screen. I don't know if they would kill him off anyway, but you never know. And there's one part I forgot. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to go back a little bit, and then we're going to keep going. There's this harmonica playing in the bar restaurant or whatever that Annetta and Tommaso's people stay at. There's a harmonica playing, and Maggie, this brings up a story with her. She mentions to Negan that, when Herschel was about 4 or 5 years old at the hilltop, this guy that lived at the hilltop, he was deciding to practice to play the harmonica at nights, and Maggie asked the guy to please stop playing the harmonica at night. And he told Maggie, yeah, okay, I'll stop playing it. And then I think the next night or a little bit later in the same night, he started playing the harmonica again. So she just decides to break into his room one time when he's not there and steals the harmonica and buries it underground. And then, that's when Negan is he's smiling and he says, yeah, or something like that. And Maggie's like, yeah, I know you would have buried that harmonica somewhere else. Oh, yeah, knowing Negan, he would have definitely buried that harmonica up his candy behind, more than likely. But, yeah, okay, I just wanted to share that. That's not really that important, but I just thought that was a kind of a funnier moment. Just knowing that if it would have been Negan, yeah, he would have definitely done something else with that harmonica, like I said. But anyway, let's get back to the arena. They're in the arena, and as they're going through the arena, and then we get to the part where that ring was from the previous episode, we notice that the stadium is conveniently not as packed. It looks pretty empty, and there's a reason for that. They're obviously setting a trap for these people, and Annetta, I think it's Annetta. No, it's I know the woman's name starts with an A, but honestly, she's probably going to be cannon fodder probably pretty soon, so I'm not even going to I'm not going to worry myself too much to bother learning her name properly. But Annetta, or is it Amita, whatever her name, I'll call her the A lady because I don't know her name, but the A lady comes up with a plan, telling Maggie, you go and hijack a car, and Negan will get the Crow Rat to bait him down to the garage, and all the rest of us are going to we're going to lure the Crow Rat, and his people, which I think he calls them the Barazzi, or other people call them the Barazzi, and they pretty much want to lead a trap for them in the middle of the city. But of course that doesn't go according to plan. So we get to the arena part where the ring is, and it's conveniently empty. And we have the Crow Rat, and we have this boy. They look like they're in a server room, and there's this setup where the Crow Rat has put a CD into this system, and there's a countdown of 5 minutes. And when we get to the 5-minute countdown, there are these entry points that are flooded with walkers, and the doorways blow up because they have explosives set on the doorways. And when that 5 minutes is up, the explosives blow up. So now the arena is now the walkers are coming into the arena where Maggie and Annetta and Tommaso and the cannon fodder characters are at. Negan is in another part of the arena trying to find the Crow Rat because he wants to lead him down to the parking garage. So yeah, there's walkers flooded in one way, another way. They're just all coming towards them, and we get a really cool action sequence of them just taking out walkers, and then they got to turn it into a show by they have these different colored spotlights, just not really flashing, but just kind of moving all around the place as they're killing walkers, and then they have music playing, of course, which from Armstrong we know that the Crow Rat knows that Negan is in town. That's why, you know, they were lying in wait, waiting for them to come to them. And like I said, there are some characters that don't have any names. They're just mostly cannon fodder. They end up quickly getting eaten by walkers. So yeah, we got some cannon fodder of at least like 3 or 4 characters that really didn't have any names. They had like a couple speaking lines from earlier, but they're not really important. They're there to be the cannon fodder of this episode. So the cannon fodder, no-name characters go first, and then some walkers, they end up surrounding Tommaso, and it looks like, oh crap, you know, he's got eaten too, and they have you think that for a couple of minutes. Okay, Tommaso, R.I.P. to him, right? But, you know, they end up going into the ring, and I forgot to say, when Maggie, she's trying to, before this, she was hijacking a car. At least she was planning on hijacking a car. Then she sees Jenny. That was an important part I should have mentioned earlier. But Maggie she sees Jenny, so she decides to give up on the carjacking, and she goes after Jenny, and Jenny is with Maggie and the A-lady and Tommaso and the cannon father. So the only people left are Maggie, Jenny, and the A-lady, and then that black lady from the last episode that picked up the dinosaur. She's also with them, and I don't know her name, but it's not really going to matter because she ends up getting eaten by walkers as well. The lady that picked up the dinosaur. So they end up going in the ring, and Maggie has a good idea. There are these paddings around the ring, the caged ring, and Maggie is like, grab one of the paddings, and then they do, and they use the paddings as sort of like a human shield, like a kind of like a barricade to get out and to get away from that area. So, and that's when Tommaso, he reappears, and he's good for now. So, you know, so it looked like Tommaso did get eaten by walkers, but no, I guess he managed to fight them off by himself. So he comes in and kind of helps out a little bit there. So yeah, we have Maggie, Jenny, the A-lady, Amita. I think her name's Amita. I'm just gonna call her Amita, Tommaso, Maggie, and Jenny. And then, like, the black lady was with them. Then she's the last one to get eaten by walkers. So it's just those 4 left. Now let's get to Negan and the Crow Rat. So the Crow Rat sends his people out of there, except for 2 of them. So the Crow Rat, Negan, and then 2 of his men are the only other people in the building. But Armstrong is also in the building, but he's still being held captive, as we're going to see later, because not Maggie, we're all about Negan. Negan, I should say, he ends up chasing, he doesn't chase, but he ends up leading the Crow Rat and his 2 men around, and they end up going up to like the upper part of the stadium, not all the way to the roof, but up to the upper, I would say the upper guardrails, really high up. And then that's when we are revealed that, yeah, they still have Armstrong. They still have him captured. And that's when they decide to throw Armstrong over the railing, only for Negan to end up saving Armstrong. And that's when Armstrong and Negan, they end up running away. And then there's this weapon. It's kind of a cool weapon. It's definitely homemade. It's a power drill, but there's this thing attached to the bottom of it, which makes it, when it's shot out, it makes it really extend. And then, you know, people that fire that weapon, they can pull it, and a pretty good size hole will come out, you know, from that weapon. It's like, ooh. But the Crow Rat, he shoots Armstrong with that weapon while he's hanging on for his dear life, and he doesn't know how to pull it, because that was seen in one of the episodes where Anetta and Tomasino's people, they were using that weapon, and they were able to pull that weapon out of people real strong, and they, you know, it did a great deal of damage. So yeah, the Crow Rat, he shoots Armstrong with one of those weapons, but he doesn't know how to, or either that, or he doesn't have the strength to pull the weapon out of his leg. So yeah, he ends up getting a pretty nasty hole in his leg. So Negan ends up saving him. They run off, and they get away. Negan and Armstrong get away, only for Armstrong to pull that very same weapon that he was shot with on Negan. Like, I'm thinking, dude, really? When Armstrong, when he did that to Negan, he didn't shoot him with it, but he's still like, you know, you're under arrest, blah, blah, blah. I'm still going to take you in. I'm still going to execute you, all this bull crap. So, like, any sort of empathy that I felt toward Armstrong, maybe I had just a tiny bit, that honestly went away. And like, bro, like, really? Negan just saved you from certain death, and you still want to try to kill him? Like, come on. Like, I don't know. This is the 4th episode, and maybe there will be some sort of redemption for Armstrong in one of the next 2 episodes. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, any sort of empathy or humanity that Armstrong had, that I kind of felt for him just a little bit, kind of, you know, went away. Negan saved his life, and he still wants to bring Negan in for an execution. Like, really? I mean, I kind of understand, you know, to the extent that earlier, before he saved his life, okay, he's a marshal and he wants to do his job. I'm like, okay, I guess I get it from that perspective, but I would have thought maybe even after, you know, Negan saved his life, maybe he would have had a little bit of a change of heart and say, you know what, I don't want to take you in, but, you know, I don't want to be pals with you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get away from me. Like, I thought maybe that will still happen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a sliver, little bit of hope that that will happen and Armstrong will have a change of heart at the last second. But I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's how that ends. Armstrong has Negan kind of at gunpoint with that drill weapon that I mentioned. And so the episode ends with Maggie, Jenny, Tommaso, and Amata, the A-lady. I'm just going to call her the A-lady, but yeah, it ends with them 4 going deeper into the sewers. So yeah, that's pretty much how that episode ends. And I gotta say, I know I said this last week, but honestly, it might sound a little cliche. I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. Oh man, okay. But anyway, I know last week that I said episode 3 was the best episode. I do mean it this time. I think episode 4 up to this point is probably the best episode of this series. We'll see with episodes 5 and 6. I know episode 5 has already came out, but I haven't seen episode 5. But right now, I'm gonna say that episode 4, Everybody Wins a Prize, I would say so far is definitely the best episode of this series. And honestly, I'm very excited for the Daryl Dixon spinoff. Honestly, I have that one as more anticipated than I did Dead City. And so far, I'm really liking what they're doing with Dead City. Is it the best thing ever? No, but I'm having a really good time with it. And yeah, that's all I got to say. And if I did forget anything, I do apologize about that. I don't think I forgot anything, but if I did, I do apologize for it. I mean, it is kind of late for me. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.